we are diving straight into the energy revolution reshaping industry. Upstream operators in the Permian Basin are seizing a massive opportunity as natural gas becomes the backbone for behind-the-meter data centers. We break down exactly how these operators can move from big-picture insight to asset-level feasibility, exploring the critical supply alignment between growing associated gas production and the surging demand for reliable power from data centers in the Permian.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the regulatory landscape shaking up real estate development. Mayor John Argodelis has signaled a major pause, announcing a moratorium on data center applications in Plainfield, Illinois. We examine why this decision was made, what environmental concerns are driving this pause, and how this temporary halt is giving local officials the chance to create better, more tailored regulations for future development. Now it's time to talk about the unseen battleground of modern infrastructure, data center security. Johnson Controls is detailing a crucial defense in-depth strategy, showing how multi-layered physical security protects everything from the outer perimeter to the most sensitive server racks. Learn the 5 essential layers, from perimeter protection to central security operations, that are vital for ensuring data center resilience against physical threats. And finally, we shift focus to the future of clean energy and fuel. EcoSeries and GDS have launched the first HVO-powered data center backup pilot right here in China. We explore this groundbreaking move and look at the broader industry shift, including the significant progress in SAF initiatives and the potential of carbon capture and storage to cement biofuels as the lowest carbon liquid fuels commercially available. Stay with us for the full energy update. Power availability is rapidly becoming the primary bottleneck for data center expansion, forcing operators to explore behind-the-meter power generation to mitigate risk and accelerate development timelines. This shift presents a significant opportunity for upstream operators in the Permian Basin, where natural gas offers a low-cost, reliable fuel source. As associated gas production grows, data centers represent a stable, long-term demand outlet. Traditional grid expansion is failing to keep pace with new facility demands, leading nearly 40 gigawatts of data center projects across the lower 48 planning to generate their own power. These behind-the-meter facilities heavily utilize distributed generation, particularly sub-100 megawatt gas turbines, enabling developers to bypass grid limitations and scale capacity modularly. For developers, this reduces timeline risk and secures power certainty. For operators, it establishes localized, long-term demand directly tied to gas supply. The Permian Basin is structurally aligned with this trend. While oil production is projected to plateau in the early 2030s, natural gas production is forecast to increase significantly, potentially reaching 36 billion cubic feet per day by 2035, driven by rising gas-to-oil ratios in the Delaware and Midland basins. This creates a convergence. Operators have growing associated gas volumes requiring an outlet, and data centers require consistent, around-the-clock fuel supply. The critical challenge for operators is moving beyond macro insight to asset-level feasibility, determining if specific assets can sustainably support a defined data center load over decades. Enverus research demonstrates a practical workflow to address this. For example, supporting a 200-megawatt data center requires approximately 28,500 MCF per day of natural gas. An end-to-end analysis involves mapping infrastructure, analyzing remaining inventory, and running sensitivity tests based on development cadence and rig schedules. This modeling revealed that while a single rig schedule fell short, a 2-rig schedule could theoretically sustain the required gas volume for 10 years by 2028. This analysis underscores that feasibility depends not just on total resource inventory, but on development strategy, capital allocation, and cycle times. Operators who can quantify deliverability under realistic, stress-tested scenarios are best positioned to engage in commercial discussions. Behind-the-meter data center development is establishing a new category of long-term gas demand for the Permian Basin. Proactive, data-driven assessment of asset suitability is essential for securing durable value from this growing associated gas supply. Plainfield, IL, developers planning to construct data centers in Plainfield are facing a significant roadblock as the village board is set to pass a moratorium, effectively halting new applications for the foreseeable future. Mayor John Argodelis stated that developers should refrain from applying for projects for the time being. The proposed ordinance will impose a 180-day pause on the entire process, including the receipt of applications, processing, and the issuance of permits for data centers and warehouses primarily used for storing computing infrastructure. Mayor Argodelis emphasized the village's stance, declaring that the measure signals a clear lack of interest in data centers, citing environmental concerns and electricity supply issues as key drivers for the decision. Village officials noted that current zoning and development regulations do not adequately address the unique challenges and impacts posed by data centers, according to a recent village memorandum. This nearly 6-month moratorium is intended to provide time for staff, elected officials, and consultants to study best practices, assess local conditions, and develop a new, unified development ordinance. This updated ordinance will specifically address the unique land use, infrastructure, and regulatory considerations associated with data centers. Previously, developers interested in building data centers would have required a special use permit from the village board. The new framework offers flexibility. If the comprehensive zoning update is not completed within the initial 180 days, the ordinance allows the moratorium to be extended as necessary through formal action by the village board, ensuring the village is not forced to adopt inadequate regulations. Data centers are the backbone of modern operations, supporting everything from cloud services and global finance to AI and healthcare. This critical role necessitates an integrated approach to both cyber and physical security, as physical security is intrinsically linked to online protection. The IBM Cost of Data Breach Report 2025 highlights a significant vulnerability, noting that nearly 1 in 10 data breaches originate from a physical security compromise. As data centers grow in scale and complexity, so too do the physical security challenges. Modern security demands solutions that allow operators to shift focus from manual processes like threat hunting and compliance reporting to prioritizing and executing orchestrated incident responses. Common physical security challenges across hyperscalers, co-locators, and large enterprises include optimizing perimeter protection, implementing granular access controls, tracking movement anomalies, strengthening access to high-risk zones, and compiling event data for threat detection. To effectively counter these threats, a multi-layered defense in-depth strategy is essential. This comprehensive approach uses multiple, overlapping security controls to protect assets at every access level, moving from the outside in. This strategy ensures that threats are deterred, detected, and mitigated at various junctures, eliminating over-reliance on any single control. The 5 essential layers of a strong defense in-depth strategy are: 1. Perimeter protection. This is the first line of defense, utilizing intelligent camera systems, ground-based radar, and integrated intrusion detection to monitor the outer boundaries, track people, vehicles, and objects, and provide early warnings against unauthorized entry. 2. Monitoring entrance to building and common areas. Once inside the premises, security focuses on gatekeeping. This layer employs credential-based entry, biometric authentication, and visitor management systems to ensure every entrant, whether staff or visitor, is accounted for with real-time monitoring to spot behavioral anomalies. 3. Protecting infrastructure zones and technical areas. Moving inward, this layer safeguards critical assets like mechanical rooms, electrical panels, and network closets. It mandates restricted access protocols, environmental monitoring, and centrally controlled electronic locks enforced through granular, role-based access control to prevent sabotage or accidental damage. 4. Securing high-risk areas and critical assets. This is the core layer, protecting server rooms, racks, and data vaults. It requires the highest security measures, including multi-factor authentication, cabinet-level locking systems, and continuous surveillance, with every access attempt logged for rapid forensic analysis. 5. Bringing it all together with security operations. All security components are centrally monitored via a security operations platform. Event correlation provides a holistic view of potential threats, enabling personnel to orchestrate faster, more appropriate responses. This integration streamlines compliance, audit processes, and ensures comprehensive event logging for post-incident review. By implementing this defense in-depth model, data center operators can build a resilient security posture capable of managing complex threats and maintaining business continuity. Companies like Johnson Controls are deploying these layered solutions to secure critical environments from the perimeter to the core assets. EcoSeries and GDS have initiated a pilot program for HVO-powered data center backups in China, signaling a push towards sustainable energy solutions in the data center sector. This development aligns with broader industry trends, emphasizing renewable fuels and decarbonization. In related news, the biofuels sector continues to see significant activity. Southern Energy Renewables, Inc. and Axens have signed a memorandum of understanding to collaborate on sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, and related fuel projects, focusing initially on Southern's planned biomass-to-fuel facility in Louisiana. This collaboration follows a definitive business combination agreement executed between XCF Global, Inc. and DevStream Corp. With Southern Energy Renewables, Inc., marking a key step in their SAF initiative. The U.S. biofuels industry is positioned strongly to meet the global maritime industry's shift away from heavy fuel oil. Furthermore, technological advancements in carbon capture and storage are being explored as a critical deployment for the biofuels industry, with an upcoming carbon capture and storage summit focusing on the economics and infrastructure required to establish biofuels as the lowest carbon liquid fuels. Industry events are also driving innovation. The FEW, the largest ethanol conference globally, will continue to host events focusing on commercial-scale ethanol production and new technology. Additionally, the Sustainable Fuels Summit is designed to connect producers of biodiesel, renewable diesel, and SAF with cutting-edge process technologies to enhance efficiency and fuel quality. Looking toward the aviation sector, the North American SAF Conference and Expo will showcase the latest strategies and solutions for aviation fuel decarbonization for airlines and fuel producers.